My husband forced me to move into their hometown and made my mother-in-law watch our baby, but I found out that they had been hiding a secret about mother-in-law. I think I am divorcing him. My husband and I have been together for 6 years and now have a 10-month-old baby. I moved out here to the Bay Area from the East Coast for him and our life together. I feel as if I have made a lot of sacrifices on my end, and I'm starting to become resentful towards my husband and in-laws. For background context, I come from an immigrant family that was raised poor and has done very well for myself. I was the first one in my entire extended family to go to college and still the only one to be a collegiate athlete. I have worked since I was 14 at any hosting gig I could find. To this day, I still help support my family financially, just as most eldest children of immigrants do. Regardless, I managed to save up to $250,000 by age 27. I fell in love with my husband at that age and decided to move out to him after 1.5 years of doing long-distance work. We were both on the same page about what we wanted in life with family. My now husband, however, is a white male with a relatively privileged background in comparison. When he suggested we move to California for better opportunities, I hesitated but ultimately agreed. Moving 3,000 miles from everything I knew was hard, but I jumped in and found a good paying job in California within 3 months. In 5 years, I'm now making annually what I had originally saved up. My large lump savings allowed us to become homeowners, but after having a baby, the stress of finances and reliable help heightened. Daycare for a 40-hour work week is $3,000 to $4,000 a month in my area, easily the equivalent of a $60,000 to $70,000 job. My mother-in-law is a retired preschool teacher of almost 40 years, and part of the reason for my move was to have her help raise our babies. My husband guilt-tripped me into agreeing that since his parents were older than mine, we should spend more time with them. My mother-in-law, however, is the most passive-aggressive person I have ever met, but only to me. She has 2 sons, and I'm married to the youngest. She doesn't have a good relationship with her other daughter-in-law, but desperately seeks her approval. I've always gone above and beyond. She has a key and open door policy to my place. I converse with her for hours, constantly cook or buy dinner for them weekly, and buy all the family's presents. When the men are around, she's sweet, but when it's just us, she throws jabs. Oh my, you sure you're not going to break your ankle in those, or are you just trying to get attention? Wow, more food are you trying to outdo me? Is that new? Do you have a shopping addiction? I'm not sure we need you around here making us look bad. You sure you don't miss the East Coast? I take it with a smile and change the subject as I was taught to respect my elders. My husband said she would watch the baby when I returned to work. Weeks before, she started talking about how busy she was with volunteering and sending daycare recommendations. When they talked, everything seemed fine, and she started watching the baby 5 times a week. I do drop off and pick up and hear it twice daily. To her son, she says how happy she is to spend time with her granddaughter. To me, she complains it takes up so much time and it's boring. My husband doesn't believe me. After sacrificing my family, friends, and my passion for coaching youth sports to jump into the corporate world to live comfortably here, I was drained. All my money, time, and energy have gone to him and his family, and I can't even get the support promised. It would have been easy to buy a house for $250,000 on the East Coast with no mortgage, coach and be happy, with my mom who would happily help. Instead, I've given it all for my mother-in-law to constantly complain about how much I do for you, instead of recognizing what I've done for her son. My mother would view this as a privilege and cries every FaceTime. My mother-in-law asks me to take a day or 2 off work every week, or be here by 2 when my show starts. I've been sneaking into work late and leaving early for months to ease her load, but I'm struggling at work. I make more than my husband by 6 figures and have financial pressures. One day I snapped, "That's something you're gonna need to talk to your son about," and all hell broke loose. My husband came home mad that I'd said derogatory things to his mom and shamed her. She needed space, and I took a week off to care for the baby. I went to smooth things over after a couple days and found her incredibly hammered at 9 a.m., stumbling on words and feet. My father-in-law looked mortified and hid her in her room. I left but returned the next morning to the same thing. My husband finally tells me she's been a struggling alcoholic for 50 years. He says, but she's a functioning alcoholic, so she just needs to get this intense period out of her system. The rage I felt was uncontrollable. Was she drinking while watching the baby? Did he knowingly put our daughter in danger to save on daycare? After talking to my sister-in-law, I learned she's been drinking daily for 20 years. That's why they have a tainted relationship. I didn't speak to my husband for days and started looking for homes on the East Coast. After a couple days, I sat him down. Here are other homes we can move to, or you get another job to cover the bills, or I'm reporting all of you to CPS, and there is no more us in our family. It feels harsh. So am I the a-hole for bluntly dropping this ultimatum on my husband?